So as I was telling you, my name is Angela Magno, Senior R&D Project Manager and Director of Communication and Marketing at BIOAZUL. I'm part of the coordination team of the BOOST-IN project. Today we have a lot of the members of our project because this event is organized by the BOOST-IN Gender Committee to mark the International Day of Women Entrepreneurs. And we have chosen to open it up beyond the consortium because we share that this topic is enough interesting with a broader audience, and we can learn and share a lot of interesting things and ideas for today. So the idea is that we will hear from European projects leading the way in inclusive innovation, as well as a group of women innovators from our BOOST-IN Scouting database, who will be sharing their journeys and innovative solutions with us. Here you have the agenda for today. And we can already start. I'm happy to introduce my colleague, Rafael Casielles. He's a chemical engineering, specializing in international cooperation for development with a focus on improving living conditions through human-centered technological solutions. Since 2008, he has worked at BIOAZUL, driving socially and environmentally impactful projects. He specializes in prepare and negotiate R&D projects proposal within European Framework Program. He is also part of the coordination team of BOOST-IN, and he will give us a short introduction to the project.
Good. Thank you, Angela, for your nice introduction. I'm gonna share my screen, right? Or you prefer me? I think it's better we share. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
1 second. I will put it in presentation mode.
Now it's frozen, but I think that is loading.
Can you see it now in presentation mode?
No, not yet.
Yeah, maybe it's getting uploaded. Let me know when it's ready.
I think that maybe you can close and start again because it was frozen with the agenda of the webinar.
Okay, I will do so. Yeah, sometimes it's easier if I just share
from here.
Okay. 1 second.
Now we can see perfectly. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone for participating in this important webinar of the BOOST-IN project. I will just give you a general overview of what we are doing. Yeah, first of all, the BOOST-IN is the acronym for the project boosting the uptake of innovative solutions in the context of water and circular economy. And we usually say that the title of the project is self-explanatory of what we are doing. This is a coordination and support action under Horizon Europe, meaning that we are not really producing new knowledge. We are not doing demonstration activities or piloting. What we are doing is to tap into existing, running, or previous projects with promising results that need like a final boost, a final push to reach the market, to coordinate and engage with other stakeholders, to bring the proper actors to mainstream gender aspects and to promote finally that these solutions are used, are uptaken by final users. This is our aim, and we are not alone. BIOAZUL is the coordinator, but we have a strong and qualified project consortium of 12 partners with Agenso, Water Europe, the Bulgarian Water Association, Ecofilae, the National Technical University of Athens, the KEMA, Al Utilities, KWB, ZSI, Fresh Thoughts Consulting, and Alma Mater University of Bologna. All together, we are bringing a good bunch of projects related to water and circular economy, like Ultimate, Rich Water, Water to Return, Bonex, Suwanu, many more. Yeah, and the idea is to have a multidisciplinary approach in the sense that we acknowledge that circular economy products, especially in the water sector, have barriers of different nature. It's not only about having the proper technology, there are also policy barriers, there are perception barriers, market barriers, and what we aim in this project is to tackle all of them at different levels. So, for example, in terms of technology, we are scouting promising solutions in the water and circular economy to identify which have the most potential to reach the market, but need more visibility, need more support. We are also doing an impact assessment because one of the barriers is that sometimes advantages and benefits of circular economy products are not well understood or even quantified and showcased. So this is also something we are doing. We are working at policy level, trying to understand what's the policy landscape and which recommendations we can propose to drive these innovations to the market. We are also trying to understand which are the social barriers and to draft roadmaps and action plans, trying to remove them, and also training stakeholders with a special focus on youth and on young professionals, and in order to skill them with the necessary knowledge needed to implement circular aspects. And finally, we are focused on the market, trying to understand which are the barriers and how we can support connecting, matchmaking, and developing adapted business models. To do this, we are following the so-called funnel model approach, understanding that there are many projects, so we are somehow narrowing down with the first general scouting of more than 500 projects, initiatives, and solutions. 200 of them will be included in a database of solutions, and then we are selecting, specifically some solutions to perform adapted activities, like analyzing case studies for social and policy analysis, developing impact assessments, or adapted business models. Finally, we will use Water Europe Marketplace as an existing and very promising platform to promote connection and interaction between innovators. More precisely, we want to upgrade this marketplace with a matchmaking functionality that will enable technology providers and problem owners to connect and eventually create business opportunities. Especially for social and policy analysis, we are working in some regions that we call regions of opportunity, and specific sectors like nutrient and energy recovery in Lower Saxony, indirect potable reuse in Mediterranean coast, water reuse for irrigation that will be addressed both in Andalusia in south of Spain and Emilia-Romagna in Italy, metal recovery from mining industry in Bulgaria in the region of Srednogori, industrial water and material reuse in the Peloponnese in Greece. And yeah, thank you. That was a general overview. If you have more questions and or you want to know more, you can contact me on or go to our project website, BOOST-IN.eu.
Thank you very much, Rafa. And now we go for our keynotes. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Katalin Oborni. She is Senior Project Manager at the HÉTFA Research Institute in Hungary and coordination of the RE-FEM project. She holds a PhD in sociology and master degrees in history, pedagogy, and gender studies. Her research covers work dynamic, gender equality, women entrepreneurship, and leadership. With extensive experience in Erasmus+, Horizon, and Share Equal projects, Katalin also serves as gender officer for the Cause Action project, Proof Feedback. Today, she will share key learnings from their works supporting migrant and disadvantaged women entrepreneurs through inclusive ecosystem training and policy tools across Europe. Thank you very much, Katalin, for joining today. The floor is yours. So now.
Yeah, you can hear me now. So thank you very much for the introduction. I'm just going to share my screen again. And hopefully you can see the screen. Okay. So I'm going to present about a project funded by the Erasmus program, Erasmus Plus program. Since it was an Erasmus funded project, it was all about capacity building and developing educational materials. And the gender aspect in our project was that we were focusing on women entrepreneurs and the ecosystem around them, those active players who are supporting the women entrepreneurs. There were 8 partners included in this project, and we were countries from Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, with a focus on Transylvania, Bulgaria, Serbia, and Spain, with a focus on Andalusia. So as you can see, we were covering a little bit more the Central Eastern Europe with our project. And our project is just ended. So what I am presenting you is really like an overview of the project, because right now we are already working on the reporting of the project. So what we have done in this project is that, first of all, we wanted to see in a structured way what were the challenges the women entrepreneurs faced during the COVID era. When we started the project, everything was really about the post-COVID phase. So what were the difficulties, what were the challenges, and already data came out about this. So when we submitted a proposal, we already knew that the COVID affected women differently, women entrepreneurs, specifically women entrepreneurs, differently than the male entrepreneurs. So this was something we started from. And when we received the project, so when we received the notification that we can go with our project, everything was about not the COVID, but everything was about new challenges the entrepreneurs had to face. And then we wanted to develop capacities in relation to how to face with the crisis situation in the field of the women entrepreneurship. In relation to it, we focus on women entrepreneurship competencies. So what does it mean to become resilient? What needs to improve if they want to be more resilient in crisis situation? And then we wanted to collect relevant information, knowledge for women entrepreneurs and for trainers and mentors. So this is really like a very typical Erasmus project, what we have done. So we produced a research report because we conducted a research. We had a survey with more than 600 responses. We had interviews with experts and women entrepreneurs, and we were asking them about how they survived. So we were really concentrating on those women who survived and who claim themselves that they successfully survived the COVID-19. And again, by the time we were conducting the interviews, everything was about the energy crisis or the inflation, so different kind of crises we were talking about with the interviewees. And then we produced a training manual, which is based on different phases of development. So first we used the findings from the research report, and then we piloted the training materials, and then after collecting the feedback from the pilots, we finalized the training manual. We also have an open education platform on which we try to present useful resources. You can see also, well, we call them motivational videos because these videos are conducted with women entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, and they are talking about how they survive the crisis. And I really recommend these videos if you are someone who has to teach, because I think it's really good educational materials for presenting case studies about how women entrepreneurs survive crisis situations. And finally, we elaborated a policy study, which includes like a general overview of the state of women entrepreneurs in the project countries and policy recommendation we collected towards the end of the project. And let me just share a few deeper things about each of the project results. So in the research results, what I would like to highlight is that one of our main finding is that those women who went through of this crisis situation, what we have seen is that they really professionalized through this journey. In this journey, we could see that they really reinvented their businesses. So what we saw is that this was really not true for them. What is generally said that women are avoiding women are avoiding challenges, or they are not, they are really thinking through what they have to do. So what we saw is that women entrepreneurs acted immediately in the crisis situation, and they rearranged their plans, they rearranged their business plans. They started to do, and this was again very strong, that they started to educate themselves. So they started to improve their knowledge on how to be present on online platforms if they were not on that already. And they were really raising what kind of markets they have to target, and they even reorganized their activities, so what they were offering to their clients. And another thing I would like to highlight, that the role of both the informal and the formal communities around the women entrepreneurs really strengthened. So, and it's connected to that they could less use the state level incentives and measures and supports. So that's why they were more relying on these formal communities. And we could see lots of examples that they joined to and formed informal communities as well. I think this is really important to mention. So not only the women entrepreneurs, if I jump right away to the end of the project or the end of my presentation, so this what we see, it's not only women entrepreneurs needs capacity building and resources, but also those who are supporting the women entrepreneurs. Let me share a few things about the training materials we have. So this is a freely accessible, it's an English language and in the partner languages. And based on the interview on the research findings and discussion with among the partners, we came up with this 5 topic we elaborated in the training materials. And so this is a PDF file if you open it, but we have materials on the project website as well. And I think we try to cover those topics which are relevant when we are speaking about how to survive in a crisis situation. So we have this topic, which is about the digital transformation, access to finance and innovation, servitization and innovation. For instance, this was something we have seen that this is a good surviving strategy to go for the servitization. And then sustainability, of course. And we have a module which is about the women, which is about being a woman and an entrepreneur, I would say, in this way. So this is about the personal resilience and thinking of what does it mean if you're a woman and an entrepreneur. And on the pictures here, you can see that these are from the pilot training. So in each of the countries, we piloted the draft training materials with trainers, and then we collected their feedback. and we revised a little bit, and then we again piloted everything with women entrepreneurs in each of the country. And I am mentioning it because I find it a very good methodology, since it is really like nowadays it's really required that we work with participatory-based methodologies. And then just quickly, I am showing that we have an online course. This is entirely based on the materials, the content of the training material, but this is targeting women entrepreneurs. And I would recommend this online course for those who are just entering into this entrepreneurial activity field. But of course, it's like it can be good to everyone. And we provide materials which is downloadable. So this is again something that trainers and educators can use. So by this time, I hope it is clear that we were targeting these two groups, the women entrepreneurs and the trainers, mentors. So we are not only offering materials for the women entrepreneurs, but we try to concentrate on the trainers and mentors in the same way. And here I would like to speak a little bit about that. So we created policy recommendations, and it was also based on participatory data collection. We organized Bird Cafe events, like if those who are familiar with this method. So it's discussion, it's structured discussion with experts. And we invited head of NGOs, women entrepreneurs. We invited people representing different state departments dealing with entrepreneurship development. And altogether, we had more than 150 participants, and this was a very structured conversation with them. So based on the pilot feedback surveys, the research findings, we created 5 topics, and these 5 topics were discussed with each within each country. And so first. As it is suggested how policy recommendations should be formulated. So first we wanted to discuss the problems. These topics we offer to discuss, they are already presenting what are the problems we thought needs to be tackled, but we again discuss the problems with the attendees, with the participants, and then we ask them to formulate recommendations after identifying the problems. So here are the main 5 topics we were discussing. One is the invisible work and entrepreneurship, so how the unpaid work can be maintained while maintaining an enterprise. And then we talked about rural entrepreneurship because it came out of our findings that this is a target which needs to specifically focus on. And as you can see, we again talked about the digital transformation, how women entrepreneurs can be supported more in this field. We were talking about what about those women who are operating in male-dominated sectors, and we wanted to talk about the investment growth because we wanted to see that what are the recommendations. So, for instance, in a similar case than the COVID-19, the women entrepreneurs will be better supported. So what we came up is that, so we collected all the policy recommendations, and finally we had a total of 44 thematically categorized recommendations. At this stage, this is simply number, so it doesn't mean that in Finland we had better recommendation than in Serbia. This is just something I wanted to show you, that what was the scale of the recommendations we gathered. And then a little bit about that, how we categorized, how we analyzed, or what is the result of our analysis of the recommendations. So this bunch of group, what you see on one side of the screen is the recommendation categorized based on the countries. So for each of the countries, we presented what kind of recommendations we collected. And the other side of the screen, you can see that we also categorized thematically the recommendations. And so we collected lots of recommendations, as you can see. And this webinar is not about that I'm going deeply into these recommendations. So those who are interested in it, I really suggest go on our website and open this document and read the recommendations. But I would like to highlight some of them because I think it can be interesting to highlight some points. So, for instance, one maybe highlight I want to share that we found out, kind of expected this, that the recommendation was not only about the capacity of the women entrepreneurs, but we really received recommendation which was about how to support the policymakers or the ecosystem around the women entrepreneurs in supporting the women entrepreneurs. So, for instance, this recommendation is about strengthening policymakers' capacity to create clear, supportive regulatory frameworks for women entrepreneurs. Or another one is about that there is a need for collecting gender disaggregated data and to do a more effective and targeted policy support measures. So, in short, saying it in short, we need more evaluation about the support programs targeting women entrepreneurs. And another example is that we have lots of recommendation which is specifically targeting various areas within the women entrepreneurship. For instance, there is a recommendation about how to help women to better perform in procurement, how to increase their role and participation. And another typical recommendation, what we received from almost all the countries, was really about work-life balance. And within work-life balance, so within this thematic field, we received lots of recommendation about how to ensure that the self-employed women, because when we are speaking about women entrepreneurs, so the majority of the women entrepreneurs, we are speaking about self-employed women. So how they access to the maternity and other social protection, and so the social protection of women entrepreneurs was also like a big issue. Lots of conversation were around this issue. Maybe another highlight, if I still have time, is about that. So we had this topic, the rural inclusion. So this is not something the participants met with this topic like unintentionally, but we are covering lots of recommendations, which is specifically targeting one group within the women entrepreneurship. So what I would like to, what is a good example for this recommendation is that we have to, when we are thinking of women entrepreneurs, we have to stop thinking them as a homogeneous group, because there are really different type of groups, women entrepreneurs as well. And maybe the last one, I think it speaks for itself as the title of the previous project, is that so providing gender-responsive emergency and recovery measures, increasing the resilience of women-led businesses during economic and societal disruptions. And I really find it important to highlight this, because out of the research findings and the discussion with the women entrepreneurs, we found out that there were less support for them coming from the state level. And what we also found that there was no gender-sensitive support for the women entrepreneurs when we are speaking on the state level support. This is just an example to show you that this is what, if you open this policy study, this is what you will find. So we covered the different thematic areas, which is not the same what is the topic we discussed with the participants. So you will see that we have lots of recommendations regarding education, training, and the inclusive policy, and also about data accessibility and monitoring and evaluation. Data accessibility also means that women entrepreneurs are in need to have more information about incentives and different EU funding streams as well. And maybe some conclusion to the end of my presentation is that two angles, both angles are important. So what you can see is that we have similar so we have all kind of barriers we identified in the countries, but at the same time they are existing across the countries. So that's why what we see, which is maybe the sense of all policy recommendations, that systematic and coordinated policy actions are needed, which are combine structural and cultural levels. But at the same time, it's really important that when we recommend anything, we are dealing with the resource-based intervention as well, which means that it's not women entrepreneurs needs the support in terms of finances as well, but those ecosystem which is around women entrepreneurs. So thank you very much for your attention, and I guess I am here if there is going to be a Q&A session afterwards.
Thank you very much. Katalin, is very interesting project, and I think that interesting recommendation that hopefully go to a real and implementation stage soon. Also for sure, I think that we'll continue in contact because the work that we try to do in Boosting is very close for the George in this finalized project. So thank you very much again. We go for our next speaker. Here we are, Antonia Lorenzo. She's CEO of BIOAZUL and coordinator of the BONEX project under the PRIMA program. Antonia holds a degree in agricultural chemistry and is specialized in engineering and environmental technology. She began managing international R&D projects over 20 years ago and founded BIOAZUL in 2003 to promote sustainability, environmental protection, and efficient water management. So she's one of the examples because the one day like today, the Entrepreneur Women Day is important. And today, Antonia is going to present how BONEX has integrated gender equality from the outset under the motto "Women are the Nexus," driving systematic innovation in the Mediterranean through inclusive stakeholder engagement and policy work. So it's your time, Antonia. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today. So let me share my screen. It should come. Can you see it?
Yes, because we can see. Okay. You can see in edition mode now. And yes, perfect. Perfect.
Good now. Okay. Angela, please let me know when I am already like 2-3 minutes for these 50 minutes I have, because I think I have prepared a very, very extensive presentation because I wanted to tell you a lot about what we have done in BONEX. But I mean, just let me know and then I will run a little bit. So as Angela said, we have been working in a PRIMA funded project, BONEX. I will explain a little bit about this on the nexus and the role of women and the gender dimension. And I would like to explain a little bit and share today some lessons from the work we have done within BONEX. So just a few words. BIOAZUL is the coordinator of Boosting and also is the coordinator of BONEX. We were, because it was finishing end of August. And just for you to know, we are a consultancy and a SME located in the south of Spain, doing some consultancy services in innovation, technology, and sustainability, very much related to water sustainable management, and also driving EU research, development, and innovation projects in some key areas very much related to boosting such water management, circular economy, and agro-food system sustainability and transition. Just before I move, I would like to say that, I will talk today about BONEX and gender mainstreaming activities, but also internally at BIOAZUL, we are committed since the creation of the company to ensure gender equality, in all levels of the organization, including the participation of women in company activities, decision-making processes, etc. And we have been recognized at the international, national, let's say local, national, and international level for the work we are doing on gender equality and women empowerment. As you can see here, so from the City Hall of Malaga to the United Nations with the award we received in 2020 as the best SME in G7 and EU in promoting gender equality in the workplace, market, and community. So we are very proud of this, and I wanted to share it with you. So let's move to BONEX project. So first of all, I would like to set a little bit the scheme about WE-FEM Nexus and the Mediterranean realities. So as I said, BONEX is a PRIMA funded project. For those that are not familiar, PRIMA is a program that funds projects in the Mediterranean area. So you will see that we have been working with EU and non-EU Mediterranean countries. And what is the situation in the Med area? So we have this hotspot in terms of climate change effects, and also some social political situation. We are suffering from water scarcity, drugs, competing uses of water, land, energy for the food production. So the WE-FEM Nexus, Water, Energy, Food, and Ecosystem Nexus is coming as an integrated approach to understand these interlinks in between this dimension, water, energy, food, and ecosystem. So you can produce food because you have to feed the people, but you will do it in a way that consume water and energy in a sustainable way, and you care about the ecosystem, what is happening to the ecosystem while you are producing food. And if we also think about the gender dimension, we have realized that this gender is often invisible in the Nexus projects we know and we have got to know during the implementation of BONEX. And sometimes this is mentioned, but it's really like an add-on. It's not really like a pillar or something important. Projects are more focused on technical aspect, technical efficiency, and they pay little attention sometimes on the governance. So who decides, who cares, who benefits? So we started BONEX like 3.5 years ago, working with 16 partners from Tunisia, Morocco, Lebanon, Jordan, Spain, Italy, Portugal, and Germany. And the main aim was to provide these practical and active tools because there were a lot of theory on this WE-FEM Nexus, but we wanted to bring it to the ground and provide this the practical implementation of the WE-FEM Nexus that balance this social, economic, and ecological trade-off. The project includes 7 demonstration projects, as you can see here, in several countries, dealing with different innovation, water reuse, water desalination, solar irrigation, agrovoltaics, nature-based solution, and also water distribution in agriculture. I will not say more about this, but you have the website for here for BONEX, and then you can have a look about all the nice pieces of work we have done during the frame of the project. So then we move to gender. Why gender in Nexus? So as you can see here, we realize that gender dynamics is really like playing a crucial role within this WE-FEM Nexus. Because women have different roles and responsibilities when we think about water, energy management, and food production. But as I said before, many Nexus approaches, project initiatives that we have revised within BONEX don't really consider in a good manner, let's say on a serious manner, the gender equality and social inclusion. The approaches fail really to address the gender aspect in terms of who are making the decision, on whose behalf, who does really the work. Is is that, again, the equality and social inclusion considered when, let's say, proposing the projects and then implementing them? Because women are primary managers in household, water, food, and energy in many Mediterranean contexts, and not only household, but also in agriculture. As you can see here, women make up to 43% of agricultural labor force. So we are deeply involved in food production, but we are underrepresented in leadership and decision-making bodies. So promoting the inclusion of women in these decision-making processes and bodies is really like essential for the sustainable development. So we organize ourselves within the BONEX, treating gender as a transversal and key pillar. This was an ethical imperative within the project, and it was also identified as a scientific and strategic necessity for delivering better solutions, more sustainable solutions, more inclusive solutions. So from the project preparation phase, we include many different genders mainstreaming activities. One was about assessing gender balance in the project team, stakeholder groups that were going to be involved in the decision-making bodies, and see whether there were some disparities and then take actions to overcome them. Promoting inclusivity and ensure equal opportunities in participation and leadership understanding perceptions. You will see also, because we launched several surveys regarding this, raise awareness about gender-related challenges and opportunities in scientific collaboration, providing insight that can be used to enhance gender consideration in future international initiatives, and for sure, supporting and strengthening gender welfare strategies by integrating this perspective from a diverse approach. And I will now revise some of the activities we have implemented within BONEX for you to get inspired and maybe use them also for your activities and your projects. First of all, we included a deliverable, a report within the project that was this gender action plan. So we had one at the beginning, month 6, and then we also submit the final gender plan by the end of the project. The gender plan was it had to be aligned with PRIMA, EU, and United Nations frameworks in terms of gender equality. And the idea and the objectives of having this gender plan from the very beginning was to ensure that gender consideration were considered in all project deliverables, activities, and in the governance structure, to identify and respond accordingly to any imbalance of or discriminatory patterns in participation, to promote good practices that has to do with, again, the sensitive communication, dissemination, stakeholder engagement, etc., and to encourage partner organizations to also adopt gender equality plans. Some of the partners were from Mediterranean EU countries, and we are 4, but we were also working with some others from non-European countries that are also willing to adopt these gender equality plans, but they were asking us, okay, share your experience, tell us how to do it, because we wanted to also start with it, with the preparation of gender equality plans and implementation of their entities. Another action we took was to organize a gender committee. It was formed by representatives from all project partners. We were meeting every 6 months. As you can see here, there were 33 members in the last update, and 74% were women. And this is because we have realized that this gender committee was understood in the frame of the project as something for women. And we were also advocating and training the partners that this gender committee should be also balanced in terms of women and men. And we did some advance, but still more women were there than men. But this is something that is normal. It has happened in many of other committees, and we are trying, let's say, to move to have a more 50-50 participation. So we have regular meetings in which we were, let's say, discussing several issues that were very relevant for the project. One of them, and I think it's very important from the very beginning, we not only on the, let's say, preparation phase of the project, but also when we start working, is establishing these expectations in terms of work packages, the different activities, and how to integrate all these gender consideration within the different work packages. It's not just an isolated task that is happening while the other things are being implemented. It has to be really integrated in the soul of the project. The practical effects of having this gender committee and meetings is that gender was in the agenda on all work packages activities being implemented. It was also pure good to not pressure maybe, but also to share experience and knowledge and improve the gender equality plans for the partners. Also to create a safe space to navigate some sensitive issues related to gender that appeared during the project implementation. Another very important action was regarding communication and dissemination visibility. So gender responsible communication and dissemination plan, in which we were stating the rules on how the project should communicate, how, the language we have to use it in all communication material, avoiding these stereotypes and promoting these multi-dimensional inclusive narratives. So that was set also from the very beginning, the communication and dissemination plan by month 6. So all partners should follow. In addition, there were different communication and social media activities related to women to also give visibility to the work we were doing and to the powerful and fantastic women we had in the project team. So like these campaigns on women in science, with women leadership, bonus gender action, etc. And also we had a dedicated flyer and section in the Bonex website for gender. So we want to give visibility. So it was not something to, let's say, tick gender dimension is covered. It was really something very crucial for the project implementation. As I told you at the beginning, within the project, we had 7 demonstration projects in different countries. Gender was...
Sorry, 2-3
Sorry?
minutes more. 2-3 minutes more. Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I will try to speed up. But you will have the presentation, but in any case, it was also quite relevant to have gender in the implementation of these demonstration projects. I have here a couple of examples that you can read later a little bit more in detail, but it was quite impressive to work in Jordan with a cooperative in which we have almost 50% of women that were coming from the university, and they found as a good way for professional development what we were doing in the demo project. And also another very nice example was the work done with women farmers in Tunisia to bridge this gap in between policy and practice by promoting really like targeted capacity building for women farmers and your professional visibilized work doing by female entrepreneurs and innovators, also monitors on gender sensitive indicators. I have to run because I am really going very behind my schedule, but it was also quite a kind of milestone within the project to have this conference in Rabat. That was the final conference, and we included gender as one of the 3 pillars of the conference. And that was very, very disruptive, to be honest. Treated again gender as a core domain and not just a cross-cutting issue. So as you can see here, there are some key messages. Women are really key agents of change in managing water, energy, and food system, but this gender dimension remains missing in many, many projects. Prima was there, and they announced that they will require gender strategy plan in all funded projects, so it's a must, and this is a very good news. It is really urgent to mainstream gender across all areas of Nexus implementation, Nexus project implementation. We also had some key policy recommendations regarding gender. I will jump because I want to go to the conclusions, but again, you have them here and also in some policy briefs that we were publishing as the work, some work that was done within the project. We also thought about looking inside and see what was happening with Bonex teams and launching this internal gender survey. Just to be very clear, we were very surprised because many issues were reported, like verbal and emotional harassment, abuse of power, labor exploitation and pay inequality, that these care and soft tasks were mainly failing of women, that were overworked, and there was also lack of recognition. So that was not easy to digest, but it was really like the outcomes we were looking for, because the practical lesson was that we have to really accept the discomfort. I start with the last one, and recognize it, and then take actions to overcome and solve these problems. And other practical lessons learned, and I wanted to share with you, is you have to start very early, make it structural, go beyond numbers. It's not just a question of numbers, it's about a question of roles, visibility, decision making, time use, etc. You have to design technologies and processes, so this gendered innovation with women in mind, and pair Nexus expertise with gender expertise, and that will be more effective. To finalize, I would like really to invite you all to move from symbolic gender work to transformative change. When you think about gender issues, changing who is in the room, changing who is taking the decisions and how the decisions are made, changing what is valued, changing policies and programs, avoiding gender washing, which is very relevant as well. And there is still a lot to do, but we have a pathway to reach the point in which we are this in a new reality. Take home messages. Gender is not only an add-on to the WEF Nexus, it's a condition for effectiveness. Women in the Met are already managing water, food, energy, so they have to be recognized as really key actors and not beneficiaries. Bonus shows that medium-sized project, 4 million euros, really can influence Prima policies and regional debates. And also from BIOAZUL side, I would like to say that SMEs like us can be really catalysts for gender-sensitive innovation. So women are the nexus. It's not just a slogan, but it's a practical roadmap. Sorry, I took a little bit more time. Thank you for your attention.
Don't worry, Antonia. It was very, very interesting. Thank you very much. But it's time to go for our pitch session. We go for this female that today we celebrate. They are innovators. Some of them are entrepreneurs. So the idea is that each of them have 3-4 minutes to present their innovation, and after that we have if you want some question or we can discuss, but we go directly and we start with Windy, Dr. Windy Musiasavi, founder and CEO of Resistomap in Finland. She's a pioneer in water biosecurity and AMR monitoring, originally from Indonesia. With a PhD in microbial biotechnology, Windy leads innovative solutions to safeguard public health. Thank you very much, Windy. Start your time.
Okay, thank you, Angela, and thank you for this opportunity, BOOST-IN. Maybe just a quick one, and thank you for introduction. So yeah, originally I'm Indonesian and moved to Finland 15 years ago for my PhD. Did my PhD and postdoc, and I learned that antibiotic resistance is also not a problem in the public health, but also or in veterinarian, but also in environmental health, that they are spread through our water system. Like you can see here in my slide, the water actually play a role in the spread of antibiotic resistance, and therefore wastewater treatment, any technology that we can, let's say, to prevent the pollution of this antimicrobial resistant from the point sources like hospital, farms, or manufacturers to our water ecosystem is very important. And that is during my PhD. Postdoc, I study antibiotic resistance in the environment, and that's kind of the reason I feel like we need some, like activity or innovation to make sure that this technology not stay in research, but can be, let's say, this technology can be outside for as a service or as a business, because then the impact can be also wider, not just in research community, but also in industry and of course in the government level. And this is kind of the background of why I focus on antimicrobial resistance in the environment, particularly in water. And that's why the innovation that I build based also on my research is to build as a service, end-to-end service. So we make sure that everyone who want to understand, to see what's the antimicrobial resistant or antibiotic resistant pollution in their ecosystem, we can help them to visualize this. So we help them with the sampling kit, because not every like customer know how to collect the sample or to collect sample for antimicrobial resistant monitoring, let's say, because it's very different how you collect the sample compared to when chemical analysis, for example. So, and then we send the sample, we pick up the sample to our laboratory in Helsinki, we conduct environmental DNA extraction directly from the water. So as you may heard, a lot of eDNA technology has been used for biodiversity, but in Resistomap, we kind of modify those into more higher resolution so that we can identify also low abundance bacteria, which normally for antimicrobial resistant. And when we got the result, we call this smart chip qPCR system. So it's the same like quantitative PCR, but it has 5,184 reaction at once. So it's like 50 times faster than the standard qPCR, but then we can produce also more data. And that's why we build also our own software. We call this ResistUp. It's a data analytics software where we combine AI, our expertise in microbial ecology, and our own database, because we build that own database. And then from this result, usually researcher is enough to get to this ResistUp. But when we want to communicate this data to the, to the policymakers or to industry, we transform those laboratory data into more biosecurity platform. So you can have the indexes, or you can have risk score, and you can have for water technology to see process performance. So that is kind of the innovation that we do. And the impact that we are trying to build, of course, Resistomap already been around for 7 years now. And that's why we already analyze samples, more than 30,000 samples across 58 countries. And there are more than 350 people using our platform. And of course, this like amount of water, mostly wastewater, that we kind of support to kind of evaluate. And that is the impact that currently we can measure. But then hopefully when the biosecurity platform is implemented more on routine monitoring, we hope that it can help also build impact more on change in policy, and hopefully, of course, save life and save the water. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Windy. Very interesting. Good job. We go for the next woman. The next innovator is Argina Sharif, a business development manager in DL Metering, Germany. Originally from Bangladesh, Argina works at the intersection of digital water and market intelligence, helping utilities adopt smart and sustainable solutions. Argina?
Yes, thank you, Angela, for the opportunity to talk here today. And let me share my screen once.
Sure.
Yes. Sorry. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I think that the presentation mode is loading. We can see an edit mode.
Okay, just a minute. It's taking. Okay.
Perfect.
I think now it's fine. Okay, so starting with my introduction. Hello again.
Oh, sorry,
everyone.
Argina. I think that
Yes.
the screen was changed and now we see
Okay.
the meeting instead.
Okay.
Now.
Now it's fine, yeah?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Okay. So, hello everyone, and my name is Argina Sharif. I'm originally from Bangladesh and currently working in Germany at Deal Metering, so as a business development manager. And yeah, as I told you, I'm from Bangladesh, so I grew up in a country which is called a delta land. Delta land means it's created from the mouth of river. So yes, then you can understand the meaning of river, meaning of water in my life. So I grew up in that environment, and yeah, sometimes it can be meaningful in two ways. The water can be a lifeline and also a challenge in my countryside. So yes, my journey from Bangladesh to Germany was really a transformative one. And again, entering this smart water industry as a young woman often meant like being the only one in the project table, or being the young voice in the decision panel as well. But this is not it. This is not all of it, because it's also meant breaking the barriers, bringing some new ideas, advocating some digitalization ideas, innovative thing in the traditionally conservative sectors like water, and also proving that women can shape water industry in a better way, in a updated way as anyone else. So today I work in the intersection of market intelligence and digital water technologies, helping the utilities to adopt the solutions that are supporting them to the sustainability, circularity, and also the long-term resilience. So now I will be putting some highlight on our water loss management solution, basically. But before starting with the water loss management, I would just like to address why this topic is so important at this moment for us. Because if you consider Germany is having a pipe breaking in every 30 seconds. Then if you are considering the overall Europe, then the aging infrastructure for water is like really so vulnerable that leaks are being untapped for years, and in between that time it's losing a lot amount of drinking water. So from this kind of situation, we thought of this water loss management solution, and we developed our AI powered water loss management solution to help the utilities so that they can detect the leaks early and pinpoint the exact location, and also they can save their operating cost. So now let's move on to our solution. So basically our solution is having three components, if I say it like that. Then network digitalization is one of them, which is creating digital twin of the total water network system. Then the second one will be network monitoring. Network monitoring is basically our AI is using the pressure and measure data from the household, and then it's detect the unusual behavior of the water system. Then it help us to detect the leakage. of course. And this is how this is adding value to the utilities, and it also giving a predictive maintenance, like we can assess with this solution, we can assess the pipe health, and we can predict the future burst, and also giving a clear idea that which pipes to renew next. So in such way, we can help to the utilities. So overall, this solution have a great impact on the utility side. So if we go there, what kind of impact they are having? So starting with the reduction of the leak detection expenditure. So when these utilities are finding any kind of leak, they have to follow up a huge area. Usually they have to follow a huge area, but with this water loss management solution of ours, you can detect only 50 to 150 meter areas. So it's like really the last meters, and then you can reduce your resource cost, you can reduce your time, you can reduce your water losses as well. Like you can see in the screen that the expenditure cost can be reduced by 80%, and the reduction of water loss could be up to 40% as well. And then again, when they are predicting the maintenance as well, then it also fitting their budget, so the utilities can have a better use of their budget before the maintenance, or something like that. If we are talking about this kind of solution, then we can mention one of our project which we did with Bundesland in Denmark. They are a utility, and they are more or less they are supplying 1 million cubic meter per year. And as you can see in the screen, they have decreased their non-revenue water percentage from 13 to 4% at this moment with the help of our solution. And they are saving 80,000 cubic meter per yearly water, so which is making them also very profitable at this moment. So such kind of digital tool is like an indication for the utilities that this kind of innovation can be really make them more profitable, more efficient in their services. So cases like this show how these digital tools can genuinely empower utilities, and they also reinforce why diverse voices and experiences, including women in water sectors, are essential in shaping the future of water, of course. So this is all I wanted to share with you today. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Arina. This was very nice. We go for our next guest is Natalia. She's Natalia Tiron-Boroviava from Odessa Maritime Academy in Ukraine. She has a PhD in technical science, and she's expert in ballast water treatment system. Natalia has led EU and Turkey cross-border projects on marine monitoring and biodiversity. Hello, Natalia.
Hello, hi there. Of course, maybe I start via my introduction about myself. I'm PhD in technical science, previously biotechnology, but now I'm a docent, yes, at the Department of Maritime Management, Transport at the MESO, at the Danube Institute. This is affiliate of National University Ismail, that's a region, Ukraine. But my work now at the marine environmental protection, ballast water management technology, and forest cross-border research via the water facilities, especially because we were the winner of bilateral projects via TÜBİTAK and MESO Union side via some projects. Innovative technology of ballast water, to rule standard of IMO BVT convention.
Sorry, Natalia.
Yeah.
it happened at the beginning. The sound is not very good because it's like maybe the computer take the sound around you and you are like mute or like it's like cutting your sound. I don't know if maybe you have a microphone or a headphone to improve the.
I don't know what.
Now, for example, we cannot hear you because sometimes it's cutting, so we just hear you jumping.
And now not here.
No, have you some headphones maybe around you?
Yeah.
Mm,
Also,
no.
if you talk a bit louder, it may improve because also we hear you very low.
Yeah, but for now,
Or,
not.
yeah, or you put closer to the computer. This may improve. I don't know.
But for now, not. No.
No, the problem is that you are cutting, so it's very complicated to understand your speech. It's a pity.
I don't know what is this problem because dynamics now 100%. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Okay, do you mind if we are going to jump to the next one and we try in the
Yes,
panorama?
yeah. For
Now
now
it's better. Now it's better, Natalia. It
Yeah,
seems that it's better.
now better. Yes.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, try to speak louder. I think this may help.
Yeah, but for now, not.
No, it's better. It's better. If you are, and also you are closer of your computer, so it's. I think that now is better.
Okay. Yeah. Super. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And of course, yeah, I am lead at the international project via Turkey cooperation at the base of Maritime Faculty of Istanbul Technical University via the marine monitoring and biodiversity protection in the Black Sea, Marmara, Danish Sea, and Mediterranean Sea regions. Yes. And my mission is to bring a science-driven environmental safety solution to the maritime sector. And through this, yes, for now we have a more important problem, not only in Black Sea, for Mediterranean Agency, and our goal now is clean waters and protected oceans, because we have now a problem. You know, this ballast water that from ships, especially from high tonnage sea-going vessels, is the major vector for the spread of invasive species, threatening marine ecosystems, and pollution causes ecological and economic damage. And through this aspect, yes, we present innovation at the experimental level in Danube Institute for the hybrid ballast water treatment technology or system development at the experimental level, but we have now high performance scaling format of this technology from the 250 to 6,000 cubic meter per hour. But this capable engineering design now is currently under development and enabling installation on large tonnage seagoing vessels and adaptation for port-based water treatment facilities. This technology meets two IMO D2 rule standard and combines multi-stage filtration from 50 to 1 micrometer ozonation, UV treatment, and optional chemical dosing. Yes, and our goal through this technology is to protect environmental space through marine space, and to remove invasive organisms, viruses, and bacteria, which especially consist of the two rule performance standard. Yes, that's all. Thank you, and I am very sorry via my sound. Yes.
No, but finally you improve it. So thank you very much, Natalia. Thank you for joining today and share your technology and your work.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, we go for Montserrat Badley Rivas. She's Senior Innovation Specialist in ADASA Sistemas in Spain, with over 25 years in water quality. Montserrat specializes in online measuring devices for microbiological safety, including ADASA's cutting-edge AquaBio solution. Hello, Montserrat.
Okay. Hello. Thank you, Angela, for your introduction. Let me share the screen. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Hello, everyone. As Angela said, my name is Montserrat Batlle, and I'm Senior Innovation Specialist at ADASA. That it's a company located in Barcelona and that belongs to the Ski on Water group. And ADASA is a technology company focused on smart solutions for water management. And for me, it's a real pleasure to be here today and share my experience as woman innovator, working in the field of water technologies and circular water technologies, in fact. I have spent my entire professional career in the water quality sector for more than 30 years now. Well, in fact, 34, 35. And I started out working in a laboratory, analyzing the quality of water. And over the time, I became responsible for leading research and innovation projects focused in developing new analytical devices and monitoring technologies for water quality. And throughout my career, I have combined the scientific expertise, as I am a biologist, with technological development, because I studied later a master in water technology. And this leading to several patents and successful examples of technology transfer. That means turning ideas and laboratory prototypes into let's say, reliable instruments that bring real value to the market. My passion lies in this, in connecting science and innovation to solve practical challenges. And one of these examples I present today is the AquaBio. That is an automatic online monitoring device for microbiological water quality, that it's capable to quantify E. coli and total coliforms continuously, as well as enterococci. And this innovation helps to ensure the safety of the reclaimed water for water reuse, but as well in bathing waters or drinking waters, supporting the circular water management and especially the public health protection. The system, the AquaBio, was developed and validated at ADASA through an extensive work in research and development and a lot of field expertise, because ADASA have decades on innovation in real-time water quality monitoring. And as we maintain our solutions, we got a lot of experience especially in field applications. By providing continuous reliable data, because the technology is verified under an ETB scheme, AquaBio allows faster decision making, optimized treatment process, and smarter use of resources. All of them key elements in the transition for sustainable and circular water economy. And beyond the technology itself, I believe innovation must connect research, industry, and society, and all the efforts made in research should arrive to benefit society in some way. And that is also what drives me, is to ensure what we develop in research can truly reach the market and make an impact, a real impact. And that's all. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share my journey and the story of AquaBio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Montserrat. For me, it's the perfect example. Go from science to the market, the real market, the company, and make this transfer technology and transfer knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we go with Dr. Elisa Michalini. She's associate professor at the University of Bologna in Italy, an analytical chemist with extensive EU project experience. Elisa develops paper-based biosensor for environmental monitoring, including smartphone-based toxicity detection. I think very interesting. Elisa.
Yeah, thank you, Angela. As Angela said, I am a professor in analytical chemistry here at the Department of Chemistry of University of Bologna, and I always say to my friends that my work is the best job ever of the world, because it's like a hobby, because I am a researcher, I can teach to my students, I'm in touch with companies, and I hope I can make an impact. And I like my work because I work with bioluminescence, that is the light that is naturally emitted by several species, such as fireflies. And what we do is to exploit synthetic biology tools to make bioluminescence useful for analytical purposes. And we develop biosensor for monitoring water contaminants. We have developed in the past several engineered cells that emit light in the presence of specific contaminants, such as microplastics, PFAS, endocrine disruptors, heavy metals. So you can tune you can rewire cells to emit light in the presence of some contaminants. And what is nice is that you can develop very low cost sensor. And the innovation that I'm presenting here is this one. This is just a very simple paper sensor that we obtained with a wax printer that is not a laboratory instrumentation, but is just an office printer with a cost of 400 euros. And we just printed this paper and we mobilized naturally bioluminescent bacteria that are no GMO-free bacteria, that are bacteria that emit light, and when they are in good health, they emit more light. When they are exposed to contaminants, the light is decreased. And so we just have this sensor and a smartphone, and we can just add with an eyedropper 50 microliter of our sample, water sample. We wait, and then we take a picture. And as you can see, there is like a flower-like cartridge. So we just add the sample in the middle, and we have a calibration curve of the on the outside. And we have developed a mobile application that works with Android mobile phones. And the user just take a picture, and then you will see something like that. I don't know if you can see it. And then you can just click on analyze, and you have qualitative information such as do not drink this water, this is toxic, and a quantitative information in terms of toxicity equivalence. And what is nice is that we have validated our sensor for different toxic compounds, such as microcystins that are produced by bacteria during algal bloom, because this is a big issue. You know that in some cases, these algal bloom are just not so nice to see. In some other cases they are very toxic. And we have validated it with different pesticide residues, toxic heavy metals, and it works. And in some cases, we were able to detect down to the ppb levels, such as for some toxins. So it is suitable even for monitoring drinking water. And so we were quite satisfied with that. In the frame of the FarmWise project, we were able to validate with different case studies in UK, Poland, and in Italy. And the nice aspect is the low cost, as I was saying, with the €0.5 per sample. So that is quite nice. And so in a nutshell, this is our innovation. And I'm here if you have any information or clarifications. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Elisa. So nice, and as you say, it's so visual, the solution. Very nice, very nice. So finally, it was longer than expected, but I think that we have a very nice guest and speaker from our keynote to our innovator. My idea is that collect all the information that you shared today with us and try to share with all people that was connected and also those that was registered, but finally they cannot join, and try to make some networking and connection and continue this work within Boosting and connect the innovator and the real opportunities market. So thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your presence. It was a really pleasure moderate the event today, and happy day of women entrepreneurs to everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.